you actually sent me some pictures the other day of you and Nas chilling together.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And this goes back from like what, 2002?
I don't recall the year. I don't remember. Yeah. I guess maybe I don't even want to remember.
Okay.
Like, you know what I'm saying? But yeah.
Well, let's actually talk about what actually caused the problem way back when. You guys are both from the Queensbridge area. Did you guys know each other before you started rapping?
Actually, nah. I knew Nas. Well, I didn't know him. He used to come around with Akinelli. Obviously, that era was before my era. It was Large Professor, and I believe Large Professor put on Nas and Akinelli with the one record Live at the Barbecue. I used to see Nas a lot. He used to come to Left Rack with Akinelli. You know what I'm saying? So, in a funny way, like it was like they kind of helped what me and Capone built, because obviously there had not been anybody from Queensbridge that was actually publicly messed with people from Left Rack, and vice versa. And I guess Nas was like the first, and then it was like dude Shamik and Lakey. They kind of got together, and me and Capone kind of made it official. Now, you can't go to Queensbridge without seeing a Left Rack guy in Queensbridge, and vice versa. You know what I'm saying?
You and Nas, once you guys started rapping and putting out albums, you guys had a good relationship?
Well, Nas always been my big brother. You know what I'm saying? And we've always been great. We have so much more of good moments than there is bad. Obviously, there's some bad moments that exist. So, bottom line is, you know, he kind of, you know, we was on one station at Hot 97 at the Summer Jam because they were supposed to pull the plug. We did Body in the Trunk, we did I Love My Life, we did Calm Down, we did Triple Threat. These are all records so you can all go out there and get. And
a lot of songs.
A lot of songs, yeah. So
okay. Now Nas was beefing with Jay-Z.
Yeah, he was beefing with Jay-Z and Def Jam. He felt like anybody that was on. I can't tell you how he felt, but I guess that's what he was. That's the only how I could feel like I could be involved in this beef.
Okay, so he was beefing with Jay-Z, and you know, I mean, he was primarily with Jay-Z though. Nas was going to perform at Summer Jam,
right,
and he was going to have a figure that looked like Jay-Z being hung from a noose.
That's the word I got. I was on that Summer Jam.
Right.
Mike Kaiser, ironically, was supposed to be today. He was supposed to have somebody pull the plug. It was all rumors and hearsay. But at the end of the day, we stayed just in case because Nas was my big brother. Like, so had that would have happened where they tried to stop it, I think I would have been the person to stop them trying to stop him.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it was ironic that as me and Foxy, and I had brought out Foxy Brown, and Foxy stayed with me too. Like, we didn't just perform and just leave. And Foxy was like, yeah, fuck that, we're gonna hold Nas down. You know, after you perform on Summer Jam, you know, they usually want you to speak. Talk to the radio station. Okay. So we're sitting on one radio station. As I'm saying, yo, you know what I'm saying, Nas, we here holding you down. He's actually on the other radio station saying, fuck Def Jam, they try to pull the plug. And he talked about Cam, he talked about Nelly, he talked about Jay, he talked about, you know, Hot 97. And somehow I got in there. And which is crazy, he was like, yo, I got your album, you know, step your game up or something like that. That album, God's Favorite, the first thing you hear on that album is Nas. Like, I don't think you guys understand. So, because if that's how you know, we had to clear that with you. So if that was how you felt, I just always felt I deserved a call. You know what I'm saying? If that's how you felt, because maybe he was just saying that, or maybe he really felt like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And ironically, allegedly, some incident happened after that. We seen whatever. I don't want to dwell on it, but the crazy thing about it, as a man, see, that's a story, so people should know, like, that's what happened, all right? He said that, supposedly, whatever, something happened, who cares, right? But when we reconciled, when we seen each other, the first thing the man said to me was sorry. And for me, I only see my faults. After a while, when you have a problem, you know the bad that you did, I was only thinking about what I did, like, or what I was, you know, whatever people accused me of being done afterwards, and I was sorry for that.
Yeah.
But I didn't know if this was the place for me to say sorry.
Yeah.
So I was just going to give him a 5 and be like, yo, you know, all that shit is in the past. And he's remarkably, it impressed me how much of a man he turned into. Like, you know what I'm saying? Forget the fact that he's probably top 5 dead or alive. Forget the fact that he's probably the most important figure in the hip hop. He came to me and he said, sorry. And I didn't realize how much I needed to hear that sorry, one. And I didn't realize how much sorry meant, because I immediately, hearing the sorry, I immediately was like, I'm sorry too. And I immediately was like, I gave him a hug, and I came right back into feeling like a little brother. Because at the end of the day, you can't grow out of being somebody's little brother. Like, I didn't grow to be older than him. You know what I'm saying? He's still older than me. He still paved the way for me, and he still, you know, helped put me on in the game. You know what I'm saying? As a solo artist. So it meant so much to me for him to say sorry. You know what I'm saying? And I immediately gave him a hug, and we drank some rosé, and we was kept smiling. And he said to me, he said, yo, man, I want the world to see this moment. So he pulled me to live at the stage.
And this was the Illmatic 20th anniversary?
The Illmatic 20th anniversary.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He pulled me to the stage, and he realized like a lot of people couldn't see us. So he went to the real stage, because if you've been to Club Live before, it's not a stage. It's like you jump on top of the DJ booth. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And he was like, yo, we're going to perform. And I was like, wow. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was a surreal moment for me, because it was his idea. Like, it wasn't, you know, when he said, let's walk to the DJ booth, I was like, yeah, let's walk to the DJ booth. I was expecting us to go, yo, what's up? You know what I'm saying? Yo, what's going on, Club Live? Like, and walk away, yo, good, you know what I mean? He's like, nah, we perform. Yo, DJ, set up some N.O.R.E. shit. He actually was my hype man, and I was his. Like,
oh, so you guys didn't perform the songs together that you guys did. You did your own song.
He did his, and then I did mine.
And what did you do?
I did Superthug and Nothing.
Right.
And he did a whole bunch of his joints, and it was a surreal, it was so dope. People was actually like, you know, fuck Nas, and like, people are retarded. Like, at the end of the day, you're supposed to progress. You're supposed to grow up after a while. Nobody really even knows what our beef was about. So how the hell are you gonna tell me not to squash it?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Dumb fans, but you know, we living in a Instagram world where people just want to say something just to say it. You know what I'm saying? But for me, you know, being as humble as I can be, and being as real as I can be, it was dope, man. It was just dope that, you know what I'm saying, that we got to realize that we're older, and it's hip hop.
Yeah.
It's hip hop. What fuck are we beefing for with all these riots going on? The last thing we need is another stupid hip hop beef.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's actually ridiculous. So let's move forward. Let's keep it popping. And like I said, I hung out with him 2 days after that. And
you did?
We didn't even take no pictures. We was just like, just drank again, and he said to me, he said, yo, mad people been calling me, like they proud that we squashed it. I was like, again, it was like to see how humble he is and see how much he's paying attention, because, you know, we all put him on this level, even us in Queens. You know what I'm saying? He's here. You know what I'm saying? And I said that at Club Live. If you see the N.O.R.E. footage, I said, if it wasn't for Nas, there might have not been a Mobb Deep. And if it wasn't for Mobb Deep, there might have not been a Capone Noriega.
Right.
So in that order. Nas's Instagram is actually what set up for us. I want to give these people their props. Is it two dope boys? They actually. I just looked on a link they sent out on Twitter, and they actually followed the actual squashing of the beef, and they were right. Nas had posted a Throwback Thursday Instagram of me and him, a picture of me and him on his Instagram, and I'm drinking a Corona, which I don't drink right now. I will never drink a Corona, and he's drinking a bottle of Hennessy, and he's saying some things never change. Now, obviously, he hashtag Henny and put some things never change, and a lot of people who are crews, our crews are actually cool. Like his crew and my crew always remain cool.
Right.
They was just like, you two Virgo niggas is idiots. You know what I'm saying? So when they both seen this shit, they both hit each other like, you seen that shit? Nas don't post nobody on his Instagram.
Right.
But he posted a picture with Nore, and he hashtagged Hennessy. But this is a way. So I agree with them. because I had tried to, but I was like, you know, I'm not gonna call nobody. Like, you know, we living in the era where people record your conversations, and you know what I'm saying. So I was like, I just kind of would. And when I seen him posted on his Instagram, and me, you know, watching him on Instagram, he don't post too many pictures. He don't post shit that he don't want to post.
Right.
So for him to post, even though he ain't say N.O.R.E, for him to post a picture with me and him, after I posted it. I had posted the picture first.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know if he runs his Instagram or somebody else, they took the joint and they put it on his Instagram. But the fact that he put it on his Instagram let me know that, you know what, maybe he's over it as well. You know what I'm saying? So that opened up for me to make it right.
Well, you know, I mean, when Nas actually signed to Def Jam while Jay-Z was president,
he flipped on me for that. Like, it was for me. Listen. It was weird. I'm going because I know where you're going. I think I know where you're going, or even if you were around the corner, let me address it real fast.
Go ahead.
For me, when we finally got down to it, and we did speak on the phone. I was on tour that time, and he had called me, and he said, he said we're sorry then. But he was like, yo, I was just looking at it like everybody at Def Jam was against me. And I was like, wow, you know, okay. Because at the end of the day, I was signed to Def Jam. You know, years later, you know, the whole renaissance, and I asked, can I leave? You know, I left. And a year or two later, he came to the same exact thing. And of course, it was weird for me, but you know, in this game, man, you gotta let it be what it is.
Well, I mean, what I was gonna say is it actually showed the growth.
It did. That's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying. The fact that he could go and basically technically work under the dude who was saying the condoms in your baby's seat and, you know, the super ugly and all these types of really below the belt type of things. Right. And they are able to squash it.
I didn't realize how much, you know what I'm saying, like that was real for him to just say, at the end of the day, we could have just, yo, what's up, my nigga, fuck that shit is in the past. But he acknowledged his fault to me, so that let me know that that's really a grown man. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? We're not dealing with kid shit. There's gonna be kids that's gonna watch this right now and say, yo, what the fuck, you know what I'm saying? Like, blah, blah, blah. But that's because y'all kids and y'all don't really understand that this shit is real. This is real life. This ain't, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't pretend to be this person. Like, you know, at the end of the day, he was a friend of mine. Fuck the music. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you're friends and you stop being friends with a person, it's just weird. It's always weird for anybody else to say, yo, I'm going over here, and you just be like, Like, you know, you don't feel comfortable. Like, and for me, let me just tell you something. If my next door neighbor invites me over for soup and salad, and my next door neighbor doesn't remind me that you invited me tomorrow, I won't show up. I never want to be the uninvited guest. I have a huge problem with being an uninvited guest. Like, Pharrell could call me, or, you know, like one of these superstars out there, Lil Wayne call me or something and say, yo, I want you to be at this party. If they don't call me to remind me, I don't want to be the guy that walks in there and be like, oh, N.O.R.E's here. Like, I like to be invited. You know what I'm saying? So I guess some people will call that stubborn.
Half the label's locked up.
Yeah.
How difficult is that to deal with, you know, in the label?
Keep pushing. We miss the homies. We wish they was out.
That's a real conversation. Nothing was scripted. That's a real conversation he was having with Orlando Scandrick. And he likes Dread. And I ended up going to their house, played her the video. The next morning she asked me to send it to her. I had no idea she was gonna post it. And we woke up in the morning and the world was going crazy.